we've had a tremendously positive reception from the public. I've spoken all over the country and all over the world to large audiences who have been just thirsty for finally some factual information on this highly controversial topic of what Muslims really think and the relationship between Muslims and the West. So it's been heartening to see the kind of reception we've really received. As far as looking at the broader question of Muslims all around the world, specifically here in the United States, the research we've done on Muslim Americans has been fascinating, and I think really would surprise many people. Muslims in America are among the most educated group in the United States, especially Muslim women, who are the most educated women in America after Jewish American women. And I think what that really shows is that the issues around gender, around advancement, are in many cases overly essentialized. Cultures are often not the issue, but really it's about opportunity. And when we have opportunities like we see here in the United States, we find that people of all backgrounds can thrive. What was
How about the media? What do you think of the American media here? How they do a good job? Yeah. Are they doing a good job portraying the Muslims?
Well, present company excluded, the answer is of course no. Oh. The media has, I think, made great strides since especially since the horrific attacks of 9/11, to improve their depth and coverage on Muslims and Islam. And I think programs like Here on Earth are a perfect example of that. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of misinformation out there, and an overrepresentation of a vocal fringe. So militants who only make up a fraction of 1%, studies show make up 53% of the representation of Muslims in the media. So there is a dramatically overrepresenting of militants in the media when it comes to Muslims.
I just wanted to interject this. We just learned this week of a woman who did a study of, I think she actually wrote a novel, if I'm not mistaken, of a Muslim family going through what it was like to be in this country in the aftermath of 9/11. And she had to revise it. She had to rewrite it because attitudes have changed so much since that time. In other words, there's been a conversion on the part of the American public in its attitude towards Muslims. Where is that coming from, do you think?
Well, I mean, according to the public opinion data that I've seen in terms of the attitudes of the American public and how they relate to Muslims, it's a very surprising change. The data right before 9/11 was actually slightly more negative than the data right after 9/11. So the initial reaction to 9/11 was surprisingly and counterintuitively greater understanding. The attitudes really got much more negative as a result of the Iraq War, not 9/11. And that's when things actually started to get much, much worse, and have not really gotten better since then. With the presidential election, they've actually also taken a second dive. So attitudes right now among Americans of Muslims are really quite negative.
Thank you very much.